guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sonnet, the owner and creator behind Sonnet's Garden Blooms. Now in today's video, we are on to box number 2 of my stash. So if you have been following along for a little bit, you will know last Wednesday, I went into my stash, grabbed a box, and then last Friday, I flipped a bunch of items and it was just things that I needed to get out of, well, my hoard or AKA stash. And today, this week, I did the same thing. So on Wednesday, I brought a huge box, and on my Wednesday Night Live, we went through the box, determined what could just go directly in my booth just by washing it up, anything that would be redonated, which nothing was, and then items that I had to flip. And so in today's video, I am bringing you those. For project 1, I had picked these up ages ago, and honestly, I think I had them in my decor many moons ago for the holidays. That was when gold was what I was doing. In the live on Wednesday, everyone said that I should be painting these apothecary. So I am breaking out apothecary, and I am going to apply 2 even coats to both of them, let them dry very thoroughly, and we're going to come back and we are going to seal them with Big Top and then apply some white wax. So you guys know I normally love the whole distressing, but if I distressed these, then I would have that gold peeking through, and I did not want that. The other thought I had too during this whole process is I thought I could put 2 little rounds on the top of each one and glue it. But if you actually look right on the top where the candlestick goes in, there's like a little metal lip that is kind of sticking out. And I don't know if I could get enough glue in that area right around where, because the metal piece sticks out a little bit more, that I'm still might try it. But at this point, I'm kind of sad because I think these would actually be really cute as risers versus just candlesticks. So in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Have you done this before with a little metal lip like that and not a completely flat surface to apply little round? You can get them at Hobby Lobby. They're little rounds. And I thought I could stain them and then apply them to the top. And I think that it would look really cute. So here I'm applying DIY's white wax. Anytime I use any of the colored waxes, such as the white, the dark, or the black, I do like to start with either Big Top, as like seal it with Big Top and then apply the wax, or I like to use clear wax and then the colored wax. It just gives me more control of the actual colored wax. So I'm just going to put it on, and then I take a piece of paper towel and wipe off the excess, and I absolutely love how this looks. I did get some comments on Wednesday that I should have used the dark wax, but honestly, I think the white is just more springy. For project 2, I had this basket and it was extremely sturdy, good bones. I didn't like how plain it was though. I could have just put it in as is. Everyone thought it was a great Easter basket. Someone even suggested that with that nice sturdy bottom, I could create a Lazy Susan out of it. I thought that was an awesome idea. I didn't have any type of a Lazy Susan base, or time to actually order it on Amazon. So I came up with my secondary idea. Because I was using apothecary already on the candlesticks, I thought I would, at first I was only going to do the top trim in apothecary, then I decided to do the bottom as well. So now that I had both the top and bottom lip of the basket painted, I did seal it with Big Top, and I thought I needed a spring type of ribbon on it because I still think this reminds me of an Easter basket. So I went inside and I'm organizing, you guys, and you would think that I would know where I put my spring ribbons. I could find fall, I could find Christmas, but I could also find just some other neutrals. But for the love of Pete, I could not find my spring ribbons. One thing that I am ordering online is this over-the-door rack, and that is going to house all of my ribbons in that. It's actually a spice rack, and I did get the idea from a friend of mine, Lori. She's in my membership group, and really that was a total game changer. So I can't wait to get it and show you. So now I decided to get a little tag and hang that off the basket, and I picked those up at Hobby Lobby. They were, I believe, $3.99 is what it said, and I am sure I got them at 50% off, so they were probably $2 for all those tags. I did take the string off first. I painted one side white because I am going to decoupage that little bird on there. Now that the tag was dry, I kind of figured out where I wanted the bird placed. Obviously, I was not going to get the full tail of the bird, but what I did is I just laid down one even layer of liquid patina, lined up exactly where I wanted the bird, and then placed it. So now I broke out the ribbon I did find. It was buffalo check, and this can be springy too. I think I am going to replace it with some spring ribbon once I find it or I head to Hobby Lobby. But for now, I wanted to give you an idea of like what my vision was. I'm going to hang the tag off of the ribbon, and I think it's so cute. The one thing that I also did, and I didn't show you guys, I was having some issues with taping today. I thought I was videotaping, but I was not. Is on the little decoupage piece of paper, there were some leaves on there and they were a bit more green. I took a little bit of apothecary and I just rubbed the apothecary on there to kind of blend, and then I sealed it, and that way the whole tag matched with the basket perfectly. For project 3, like I told everybody on Wednesday, I must have had a vision to paint this white because it looks like I painted it with white spray paint. And I know that I've had this one for quite a bit. Once I did that, I kind of lost my vision of what I wanted to do. So here, what I've decided is in the vignette that I'm creating, I want all different pops of apothecary, and on Monday's video, I am going to use apothecary on a couple pieces of furniture as well, because I've been using a lot of dark colors like blacks to do my furniture flips. So what I'm doing here is I'm applying 2 even coats to the entire piece. I'm going to let it dry very thoroughly. Then what I did is I took my sanding block and I just roughed up the edges. I brought back a bit of that dark paint that was underneath, and then a little bit of the white. So I love how this is turning out. To finish the project, all I need to do then is to seal it with Big Top. Anytime you use DIY paint, you do need to seal it with some type of top coat. So I'm using Big Top here. And really, anytime you're refinishing a piece, you don't have to always be totally elaborate. Sometimes just a quick paint job will totally change the look of an item.
I had this little breadboard or cutting board in my stash, and I think I held on to it for so long because when I did a thrift haul back ages ago, somebody had said, "Oh my gosh, that is so cute," and the saying meant this, and honestly, I can't remember what the saying was, and somebody hand painted it. And then I got the go ahead on Wednesday night to just do a flip. So I am painting the entire piece vintage linen by DIY, and I'm going to apply 2 coats to both the front and the back, let it dry very thoroughly. And I actually had a couple different ideas for this, and I finally settled on one. I really like this little bird, and rather than cut it all the way out, what I had decided to do is I actually tore around the edges and I decoupaged it on. Now, like I said earlier, I was having some video issues. I thought I had hit record a couple times, and clearly I had not. This little bird is from the new Roycycle decoupage paper, and I showcased that both on my Monday Night Live and last week's Friday video as well. So I have a bunch of these trays, and at one point when I did do a lot of shows, I think I had actually bought this for the farm market. I use these to display some different soaps that I sold. So here I am just going to do a really simple flip, guys. I am using vintage linen, and I am going to paint the entire piece vintage linen, both sides, the little feet, and I'm going to let it dry very thoroughly. And then I went back, I took my hand sander and I just distressed the edges and the feet a little bit. And then I sealed it with Big Top. So it really was that simple to do this flip. I thought about adding some transfers or adding something to it, but I wanted to keep it really simple, and there's a lot of color in my booth, so sometimes just having some white pieces really neutralizes all that color. For this next project, I decided on Wednesday that this was going to be a perfect piece on one of my large tables for a centerpiece. So my vision here is I am going to paint it. I initially thought I was going to add some transfers to the edges. I decided to go with decoupage paper instead, and then I am going to use it to hold some glasses, like crystal glasses that I have, and that will be in the center of the table. And then I have some really fun pictures to put next to it for sale as well. And those really, it's going to remind me of like a spring display. So here I'm painting the piece again, vintage linen. It's just a really nice soft white. Gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how I apply the decoupage paper. So instead of putting the entire piece of decoupage paper on here, I just wanted little chunks around the edges, and that way in the center I can put those glasses and you can still see the beautiful paper peeking out. Now this is the Spring Blocks from Roycycled Paper, and I love it because it has all this floral birds on one side, and then on the other you'll see that there's like a bunny rabbit and some eggs and just some really fun other items that you can use. So initially I just take it and I cut out what I want to use, and then around those pieces I tear it just so that it's not a really straight cut edge. And you can also use a damp paintbrush with water and create your line and then tear it that way as well. I just hold my finger and tear around, and I think it works just as well. So once I get it all tore around the entire decoupage piece of paper, I lay out where I want to put it on my piece, and I just start laying down the liquid patina, and I just work in sections and then smooth it all out with my paintbrush. You can also use saran wrap to smooth it all out. The piece is very small, so just by taking my paintbrush, it very easily eliminates all the wrinkles and things like that. So I do that to both sides. I let this dry very thoroughly. Then I went outside and I took my hand sander and I just distressed around the edges a bit and the feet on this. And then now I will come back and I will completely seal it. So now you can see how I distress the edges here, and I'm using Big Top, and I am completely sealing the entire piece with one even coat of Big Top. Well, guys, this piece, I changed my mind so many times. I'm surprised it even made the video, and I still to this point don't even know if I truly like it, but I had this piece for a very, very long time. I actually thrifted this at the Goodwill bins. So it was part of my very first trip to the Goodwill bins. And I held on to it because initially I did like this checkerboard look. And I was trying to figure out, should I do something with it for 4th of July? Finally, after Wednesday night's live, I decided I was going to make a sign. I'm just going to do it. So my initial vision was I was going to paint the entire piece white, and I was going to just leave a little border, because when I took a piece of decoupage paper, I thought it fit perfect. I don't know if I went too crazy with the white paint or what, but it didn't. So then I decided I was going to paint the entire portion of it white. And so then I went in and like the edges that are brown, I painted those white. And I was going to basically take 2 pieces of the corrugated metal, which is the new Roycycled paper, and I was going to try to mesh those together, make them look like it was just 2 pieces of corrugated like metal pieces stacked. And then I'm like, what if I can't make it just perfect? So I slashed that idea as well. And then I decided I was going to paint, instead of white, I went back and I painted it apothecary. Then I painted the edges little black dress. So the border is a little black dress, and then the center was apothecary. So here it is. I brought it outside and I distressed the entire piece with my hand sander. I wanted to bring out some of that wood that was underneath, some of the white, and I'm really liking how it's looking. I like how it's kind of like distressed. It's been like weathered. So now I am going in and I am sealing the entire piece with Big Top. And then at this point, I decide I'm going to go into another stash of mine. I have a lot of different seines, like wood seines, galvanized seines, and I did have one galvanized seine that I decided to use. So it says gather together, and I thought it was perfect sizing for this, but I don't know if the galvanized pops enough. So then I'm like, should I spray it black to really make it pop? So you guys in the comments, let me know what you guys think of this sign. Did I go wrong with the galvanized seine? Should I spray it black to really make it pop to kind of match the border? I just felt very rushed on this project and I wanted to complete it for the video. So you guys, once you see the finished product or project, let me know what you think.
So what did you think? It is a lot harder than you guys may think. So on Wednesday night, we determined what items I was going to flip. And then on Thursday night, I started to flip the items. Many of these items had to dry. A few of them, I changed my mind on what I was going to do. So it is hard to get them all done in a very short period of time. But I think I did great, and I love that I have a lot of items that will go directly into a vignette. So what was your favorite item? I'd love to hear. Monday's video, we are going to be doing another furniture flip because I am trying to just go into the greenhouse, pull out pieces that need to get out, because that is one of the spaces that I am trying to reclaim in 2023, and I will definitely be bringing you in there once I get that whole area cleaned out. So you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday. Bye.